What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Pages with Paige, and today I'm going to be doing the dog BookTube tag. So trigger warning for this video, I do talk about the loss of my pet, but she is wonderful and I'm in a lot better headspace than last year to be able to discuss this and actually commemorate her. So I hope that if you are going through the loss of a pet, if this is too much, feel free to click away, but if you're in a good headspace and would like to have a bit of a laugh, then feel free to come along for the ride. So I originally saw this on Becky from Teacup the Storyteller's channel last month or the month before, and knew that my anniversary of my childhood dog passing was coming up, and I had a rather emotional vlog go up last year and I wanted to do something a little bit more lighthearted but still something to honor her, and so the anniversary date was actually yesterday. So yeah, I wanted to just celebrate Amber in all her glory and not be a complete and utter emotional wreck. Thank you for everyone that supported me on that. Last year was the first year that I hadn't been at work on the day, so it hit me hard, as you would have seen if you've seen that vlog. But I just wanted to do this tag and still honor my little love. I do have my paw print heart tattoo, which I got, well, 4 years ago and a day, and I'm wearing my dog tea in honor of her, and yeah. So I just wanted to do something light and kind and happy. We were not in the happy zone with this, and this year I feel so much love and joy thinking about Amber and all the memories that I have, and I want to celebrate it. So that's why we're going to do this. The original tag was created by Danika Leigh Ellis, but the original video is no longer available, so I'll leave a link to Becky's down below. So question one is, tell us about your dog. So, or dogs. For me, I just had one childhood puppy who was 15 and a half. Her name was Amber, and she was a Chihuahua cross Shih Tzu and was just a hilarious dog. She was definitely more humanoid in a lot of the behaviors she exhibited. She did not like other dogs at all. She definitely had an inferiority complex when it came to other dogs, and she definitely got along with every single human. There were so many times that a child would be afraid of dogs, and we introduce Amber to the child and she would just be so wonderful and amazing with them. They would tug and, you know, all things of teaching children how to handle a dog, and she was totally chill and really helped a lot of kids feel more confident around dogs and trust that they're going to be safe. She was always so lovely with humans, but put her near another dog and not so kind. She weighed 15 and a half kilos, so she was a tiny little thing, and she had a glorious underbite, which was peak levels of attraction in terms of dogs. And yeah, her personality was such mix. She definitely knew when I needed support, and it definitely hit hard when she passed, because that was such a comfort I had relied on for so long. And although I wasn't living at home, anytime I'd go down, she would just be chilling there. But she was also a lazy son of a bitch. Like, she did not do the walk downstairs. We ended up carrying her. She would just sit, chill, watch the birds, bark at them occasionally, bark at any dog that came near her territory, and sleep. She was just so fantastic as a support and a companion. And there are a few dogs that I've been acquaintances throughout my life, and they definitely were not kind-spirited dogs. They had a lot of issues that they had not worked through. Amber didn't have any of that. I don't think she had a mean streak within her. She was just a very chill dog. But yeah, whenever I was upset, she would definitely like come and comfort me and just lay on me. There was a period of time that she would wake me up for high school by farting in my face, which was an absolutely joyous experience. Highly recommend. When she ran, her legs would tuck up underneath her, so she just looked like a flying little potato of fluff. It was glorious. So that's Amber. I don't feel like I can sum her up succinctly. She is a multitude of personalities, and she was just a sweetheart. I suppose if I needed to pick a singular adjective, that would be the way that I describe her. And I definitely miss her, because I don't think another dog will be the same personality on her wavelength, but I'm glad that I got to spend as much time with her as I did. So Question number 2 is, what would your dog's favorite book be? I struggled so hard. Like I said, Amber was a really distinct lot of personality trait, but none of them really worked cohesively. And we were chatting, I messaged my sister being like, what do you think? She said something in relation to birds to get herself all worked up, like how to catch them or something, because she would be too lazy to just try. She'd rather read about it instead, which I thought fair enough. And then Ash and I realized, you know what? She sits out there, she's a Mrs. Kravitz, she will just peer and watch the neighborhood. She would constantly just be up on boxes, looking over ledges, getting a feel for what's going on in the world, and she was a Mrs. Kravitz, like 100%. So we thought, The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I think Amber would have loved this. A retirement village, and a murder happens, and the residents of this retirement village have to team up and solve the murder. I think that it would have really captivated her. I think she would have had a lot of fun with it. It's not too long, so it wouldn't be overly daunting. I think she would have really enjoyed this. So I'm very chuffed that we thought of this. So number 3 is use the first letters in book titles to spell out your dog's name. So I've gone with predominantly favorite books of mine that feature female empowerment in some way, because these are well and truly close to my heart, as is Amber. So the first will be no surprise, but A Heart in the Body in the World by Deb Coletti. I still cry thinking about this book, and yep, so fits perfectly. For A. And for M, I tossed up between Malice and Matilda by Roald Dahl. With my reread coming up of Matilda, I was like, no, this needs to go in. And I remember Amber sitting with me while I would read this many times. So yes, connection to that as well. Body of Stars for B by Laura Maylene Walter. This is a new top tier female empowerment book that I absolutely loved and was recommended to me by Erin from Sheba and Shelves. With Erin having pets, I wanted to make that tie there as well. Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman for E. I adored this when I read it, and it shook me to my core. I feel like it dealt so interestingly with a lot of topics that were addressed, and definitely a favorite of mine. And then finally, Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. I definitely resonated with Frances as a character, whilst not being a creative drawing or creative in any form really. I felt the ambition and drive to succeed, to be able to go to uni, and feeling all the pressures of wanting to succeed but having to push yourself to just chaos definitely resonated with me. And whilst I didn't read this when I was living at home, I feel like Amber would have been right there beside me with this endeavour if I had have read it when I was there. There's my AMBE. Question number 4 is also a challenging one, and that's, what's your dog's relationship with books? So I feel like Amber was a snuggler. She would curl up on the couch, especially when I was reading, and snuggle in. There were definitely times that she was engaged with what I was reading, just coming and chilling and having a sniff around. But overall, I don't think she'd be like personified to human. I don't think she would be a massive reader. If she did, she might go a little bit more on the literary fiction route, and that's why I feel like this would be the perfect fit for her. But otherwise, it'd be small, it'd be quick, it'd be fun, but also have a little bit of hoity-toity. Just, I feel like she'd sprinkle that in the mix. With my reading, she definitely was there and active when I was reading, and just sitting by me enjoying life and scratches and all that good fun stuff. Question number 5 is, what's your favorite book with a dog? So for me, I had quite a few, but I've decided to go with Molly Moon's Incredible Book of Hypnotism by Georgia Bing. This is definitely a childhood favorite. My sister and I absolutely adored this as kids. I just find this dog hilarious, and I'm definitely due for a reread of this series, but it trips me out. It's so much fun, and it's a good time. Question number 6 is to find a book on your shelves with a dog on the cover, and I actually managed to find quite a few, but the one that I've gone with is Paige by Tamora Pierce. I thought this was fitting considering it's Amber and Paige, and there is a little doggo right there. This one has a dog on the cover, and I just really enjoy Tamora Pierce's writing as well, and I feel like this would be, if Amber was to go with fantasy, this is the sort of area that she would have gone with. Question number 7 is to find a book in your TBR that has the word dog in the title or has a dog in it. So So again, there was actually quite a few, but the one I've gone with is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. I have not read this yet, but I do feel like it's going to be quite a touching story, and I really don't know too much about it. I am wanting to go in relatively blind. Has dog in the title and on the cover. And finally, question 8 is, who would you like to tag? So anyone that would like to do it, if you have recently acquired a new pet and would like to talk about them, if you have an anniversary coming up, or you just want to celebrate your dogs that are around, feel free to do this, or feel free to adapt it to cats if you would like to do it for your cats if you don't have dogs. I just thought this would be a fun little tag to be able to talk through and gush about Amber and my history. I have so many just brilliant memories of her, and it means a lot that I can just be like, here, have me talk about my dog for, you know, 10 minutes. Okay. Because I feel like, you know, the loss of a pet isn't easy, especially one that has been such an emotional support for a very long period of your life. And grief, whilst thankfully I haven't experienced, Amber is my major grief experience in my life. The grief and loss of a pet is no less valid than the loss of a human loved one. They are loved, they are part of the family, and I just want to do something to celebrate her because she was fucking awesome, and I'm sad that you guys couldn't have met her well and truly. But hopefully I'll have these videos to look back on and just have a giggle at the memories that I think of with her. I am going to play the same reel that I put in my vlog from last year, the same clip to music for that, just because I want to have that in as many places as humanly possible in case something happens to the file and it gets corrupted. I am very proud of it. It's just a little slideshow, I suppose, of photos of Amber, and yeah, so I hope you enjoy, and thank you for letting me ramble on. Let me know in the comments, do you have a pet? If so, what's her name? How old are they? What breed are they? What kind of an animal are they? I would love to hear all that information down below. And if you are going through the loss of a pet, know that my heart is with you. It is hard, it is so horrible, but I love being able to celebrate the pets that they were. If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video.